All right, guys, this is going to be the recording for Metabolism Lesson 2.3, which was done on Monday or Tuesday, depending on your class hour. Today, we're kind of diving a little deeper into the medical condition that you became an expert on last week. And so, if you remember last week, you were in a group and you did either anemia, asthma, diabetes, or an injury to the pancreas, and you became an expert and kind of read about it, filled out a form, like a patient form with symptoms and what's causing that condition. And so we're kind of going further with that. And so there was a warm up in Canvas. And when you clicked on that warm up, it was just one question. And this was relating back to kind of what we talked about last week, how we have some molecules that enter our body and just can be used right away. And then some molecules need to change and be changed. And so this question you need to answer and then explain why you chose that answer. And in class, we did a little poll and kind of figured out who picked what. And then the next thing, there is a modeling tool that we're going to use in Amplify. And you are actually, well, if you were in class, you are going to do it with your group. If you miss class, you're going to have to do it solo. And if you miss class again, and you also missed last week, you're sticking with that same condition. So if you started reading about anemia and filled out the form about anemia, you are sticking through with anemia until I tell you you're not anymore. So when you pick that one condition that you're the expert on, you're riding that one through, okay? So when you open the modeling tool, what pops up is a healthy human body. So this is the healthy body. So you are going to change it to figure out what it would look like with your condition. So if you're doing asthma, we know that asthma has to do with getting air into the lungs. So you would change this section over here to show what a body would look like if it had asthma. And then obviously, once you're done, you're going to screenshot it. So in your notebook, once it loads, you're going to see that there is a spot right here for you to add in a screenshot of your condition once you've modeled it. Okay. And so we did that, and they did that with their group. And the other thing that we did is they got together in breakout rooms and kind of continued to work through their condition and fill out that patient form if they didn't finish it. And you'll see this document, which is this right here. Each group went in and put in the information on their condition, so what the symptoms were, what causes it, and if they thought that Elisa has this condition, because that's kind of the whole point. That's our purpose. We're trying to figure out if these conditions are something that she could have. And so you go through that and you'll see we have anemia, asthma, we have diabetes, and then injury to the pancreas. These are going to help you fill out the exit ticket that is here. Because on this exit ticket for today's lesson, it has you going through each condition because it's really trying to get you to focus in and kind of pick if you think one of these is something Elisa has or just eliminating it in general. If you're not 100% sure yet, it's okay. We still have more lessons to go through, but we're kind of trying to narrow it down. We ended up kind of skipping the number 3 part. We didn't really have enough time for the number 3 part. Some of you might have already done it. That was going back to last week when you all had the simulation. And the simulation, you were just supposed to continue to model your condition in the simulation. So kind of very similar to the modeling tool. So if you already got that done, you can go ahead and complete the bottom of slide 19. If you haven't, that's okay. Like I said, we kind of cut that out. We kind of ran out of time a little bit. There is homework. There is a reading in your notebook. And it's about a scientist who grows cells, which is kind of important based on what we've been learning. And so if you scroll down, it's on slide 20 and 21. Please make sure you're annotating, which means you're highlighting that important information and picking out the things that we can use to help us diagnose Elisa. It is important that you highlight, because when I go through your notebooks and grade them, if I don't see anything on here, any highlighting or underlining or anything, I'm going to think that you did not do it, so I won't give you credit. So please make sure you annotate and kind of use that to show me that you were reading. All right, and that's that for today's lesson. So make sure you got everything on this agenda done, except remember number 3 is optional. If you got it done, great. If you didn't have time, we'll squish that in on our next lesson. All righty.